On we go.
So, why can the bad guys communicate with the criminal underwater shark gang? We don't know. It's never explained. Maybe he got some of that moonbeam from a crack dealer or something. But as of now, he doesn't want them to destroy the ship just yet. He just wants them to stay close. But luckily it seems that magic also seems to work with mice, as Elizabeth can suddenly understand them now too.
You ought to face the issue squarely and tell your father and Everard what you think. You've gotta fight!
Of course I'm going to fight. Now I know you two are on my side. We can foil Everard and help those poor whales too.
Yes, now that they're on your side, I'm sure you'll have a great case to go up against your father. Father, I know you want me to marry that man, but I've been talking with the dolphins and mice, and they agree that it's not the right thing to do. But honest to God, they did talk to me! But Elizabeth does go to set the record straight, and it turns out her father takes it unrealistically well.
I have absolutely no intention of marrying Everard. I'm sorry to upset your plans, but...
Plans, did you say? My one and only plan, dear girl, is to see you as happy as possible. And I would never dream of forcing you to do something you don't want to.
Unless it was the beginning of the movie, in which case I said you have no choice. Seriously, what did she do different? She made the same argument she did before. In fact, it's actually less angry. Are you honestly telling me that this...
I have absolutely no intention of marrying Everard.
...is much more stronger than this?
I'd rather die than marry that horrifying, disgusting old serpent.
You'll get over it.
I have absolutely no intention of marrying Everard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Calm down, calm down! Huh! Alright, we'll figure this out, man. But meanwhile, down this hallway, or maybe it's this hallway. Nope, I guess it's this hallway. The bad guy is looking to make sure his evil wedding schemes go according to plan. But luckily, the mice kick him with a soccer ball and send him hilariously flying down the ship. Seems kinda pointless, seeing how we already know that Elizabeth isn't going to marry him, but we need something to top the dog scene, don't we? Meanwhile, apparently Joe is still in this movie, as we see he spends most of his time... Oh, get over it! I miss Elizabeth. Almost as much as I miss Vanessa. But it turns out the animals lead them together and they finally discover each other. And of course, they decide to dance. But, unlike the other animated Titanic movie where they shared only 3 lines of dialogue and decided they love each other, here they only share 1 line of dialogue. Yeah, 1 line of dialogue and they know it's meant to be! I guess she considers sniffing the glove first base. But the whaler and evil stepmother, it turns out, are in cahoots with each other and they want to stop them from hooking up.
I trust I've been clear enough.
If Mr. Maltravers is so important to you, then you marry him.
Actually, that's a great idea. If she's so evil, why doesn't she just leave Elizabeth's father and go with the whaler guy? Doesn't that make more sense? Whatever. It seems that boat has sailed or sank, so I guess it's better just to cut their losses and move on to the next logical step. Hold the father up at gunpoint, force him to sign the whaling concession, and tie him up so he won't escape. Tell me you wouldn't do the same thing! So he sends the message to the whalers that they're allowed to hunt wherever they please, but luckily the mice cut the wires before the message can get out. I'm sure that won't backfire in any way! But wait, with the father tied up, someone's liable to come across him. So again, what's the logical thing to do?
The ship has to sink tonight, but remember, not a second before midnight, or else all your work will have been for nothing.
Consider it done, Pally. Midnight on the dot.
That's right. It's the evil gang of sharks that sank the Titanic because of a needlessly complex whaling scheme. Aren't you glad we're simplifying the emotions of a horrendous tragedy to an insultingly basic battle of good versus evil?
After we've arranged for the iceberg to appear in front of the ship, we'll hold the rudder in our teeth, keeping her on course.
I don't even get it. Why do these Titanic movies need a bad guy? Isn't the iceberg sort of the designated villain? So the sharks trick a giant octopus named Tentacles into an iceberg throwing contest. There's a giant octopus with a dog's face in this movie and they're only waiting till the last third to show it. Way to subtly wheel us into that suspension of disbelief.
Don't you realize what you've done?
I beat the sharks at ice throwing.
You threw an iceberg at a ship full of people. I don't know how many of them we'll be able to save.
Oh, no!
It's not like he can just grab the iceberg and push it out of the way. Oh, wait, yes, he can. Why don't you just grab the iceberg and push it out of the way? So the whaler and stepmother escape on the boat and, not to give anything away, but the iceberg hits the ship. Hey, considering how much else they changed in this movie, I'm surprised they kept that.
They're sure to send out an SOS. Maybe there's a ship near enough that can make it in time to help us.
Oh my goodness, we cut the wire!
And you didn't repair it after? That's against every rule of the Seamouse Maritime Union!
We spent 2 hours talking about ship protocol and you didn't even follow it? A pox on you! So they try to fix the wires with the help of another mouse named Camembert. Get it? It's a cheese! But the wires won't stretch far enough, so there's only one thing to do.
I've got it! Connect the wire through my mustache!
Yeah! What? Yes, this will be an incredibly funny scene if it didn't end up killing him. No, seriously, it ends up killing him. Look.
Oh, Camembert! Camembert! What a hero!
Okay, there's a lot of moments in a Titanic movie where you're supposed to have a serious death scene. You picked one, and it's a wrong one! Oh, and unlike that downer Cameron movie where there weren't enough lifeboats, this film sets the record straight.
There's room for everyone!
See? There's room for everybody. What, did you think those idiots at the History Channel knew what they were talking about? No, it's the version with the giant talking octopus that has it right. So Elizabeth and Joe find the father and set him free, allowing him to get on the lifeboat.
Thank God Daddy's safe.
Why doesn't the daughter go too? Or for that matter, why not the boyfriend? Didn't you just hear the guy before?
There's room for everyone!
So hop on board! It doesn't matter if you have in this movie, you can still make it out! But don't worry, Tentacles is there to put the ship back together. That's right, he's putting the ship back together. And just in case there's any confusion for this being mistaken for a tragic act of nature...
The truth is, it's all my fault.
No, Tentacles, it's not your fault. This all happened because of an evil, greedy human being.
You heard it right there, folks! It was all because of an evil human being. The realities of life don't play here. Hey, the next time a family member dies, just tell your kid a whaler did it. It's all cool. I mean, hey, as long as you can blame something!
One of my tentacles slipped. I have to go back down.
So while you're pondering why an octopus has to hold his breath to go underwater, it turns out the dolphins have good news.
The whales! The whales are here! Hooray!
There'll be whales here!
So the whales seem to save everybody on the ship, even the captain. Yeah, because we all know he made it out okay. But unfortunately, Tentacles can't hold on anymore and goes down with the ship. That sucks. But we have a wedding to cut to. That's right, Elizabeth and Joe finally got married, as did Grandpa Mouse and that blonde who he only shared one line with. Seriously, do these guys ever start a dialogue? When suddenly, their attention is drawn to the river.
I have the most wonderful surprise for you.
That's right, Tentacles is alive! And look, even Camembert, with no explanation whatsoever, somehow made it out okay.
I thought you were dead.
Nope.
Tentacles is alive! Look out there on the whales! All the others are alive too!
That's right, even though there were no whales or people in that shot you just saw, apparently everybody made it out alive. Thank God this isn't the least bit insulting to the hundreds of people who tragically lost their lives, or else this could possibly be the worst thing we ever produced as a species.
Tentacles, you are a true hero. And the many people who couldn't find space in the lifeboats, you saved their lives too. Tell us how you accomplished such an amazing feat.
It was the whales who did it, really.
What is up with the whaling in this movie? Look, if you want to make a movie about whales, that's fine. More power to you. But leave the deaths of hundreds of innocent people out of it if you don't mind. I mean, even Ferngully just stuck to the rainforest. They didn't try to work in the Hindenburg disaster or anything.
So this Ronnie is Granny Stella's brother!
So flashback to present day as the kids realize Grandpa has clearly gone off his meds and made this entire story up.
That means nobody's hunting the whales any longer. Is that right? Unfortunately, no, children. There'll always be another Everard Maltravers. Their names may change, but their evil lives on, and the whales are still hunted.
Shut up! I hope we nuke those so we don't get any more movies like this?
You heard, children. Enough is enough. Your grandfather loves to tell stories, but like all sailors, you shouldn't take them too seriously.
Understatement of the millennium.
Oh, Connors.
So just to recap, everybody, nobody died on the Titanic, animals can talk with moon magic, sharks form underwater gangs, whales are Jesus, and the reveal of a giant talking octopus in New York got absolutely no media attention whatsoever. So, to sum up... Nope, I need a minute. Okay. Can you see why this is worse than the other one? I mean, the animation is better, but this goes from stupid to disgustingly insulting. Just the idea that people took this tragedy and turned it into such a lame ploy to save the whales is mind-boggling. The Titanic story has nothing to do with whales, so why'd you make that connection? It's insulting to history, it's insulting to children's intelligence, and it's straight up insulting to the people who died. Honestly, it's sort of hard to watch, it's so horrendous. I mean, it honestly makes this film look more realistic. The film with the rapping dog is actually closer to the real story of the Titanic. That is a new low for a kids movie to sink. It's beyond and my guess is it'll take days before you stop feeling unclean from it. My only hope is that people will finally learn their lesson and stop making animated spin-offs off this
Well, there's one thing I'm not, and that's a racist.